You know, it's really special when you find a bait that catches them like this Shimano Ember has for me the last couple weeks. I didn't catch any bigs today. On this episode here, you're going to see it's windy. You can tell. Hopefully, it's not my mic's not picking it up for you guys. I got my back to it, so hopefully not. But in this episode right here, there's a big old tournament going on right now here at Yatesville. When I say big, it's big for Yatesville, probably, I don't know, 40 boats or more. It's Good Friday here in the United States of America, but here in Yatesville Lake. But I didn't get in the tournament today because I didn't know how long I was going to fish. I knew it was going to start getting windy. But up until about 10 o'clock this morning, fish were absolutely chewing this bait. Again, this is the second video that you've seen me talking about the Shimano Enber. It's E-N-B-E-R. I know people probably looked at my last video when I said turning Yatesville into Embers and thinking that I was an idiot and I misspelled Ember. And that was on purpose, obviously. This is a Shimano Enber 60 SP, but this is actually in SP purple. And I'm throwing this thing on an 852S NRX Plus, and I also have a Van for 3000. But you know, I feel like that you're not going to need an NRX Plus for this technique, guys. The only reason I'm throwing an NRX Plus right now is because I'm in my spinning rod side of things, and this is you know, a good problem to have. I only own NRX Plus spinning rods, so I have one Poison Adrena, but it's a medium heavy. That's going to be too heavy for this technique. But today in this episode, I don't know how many people are catching them here. I talked to a few people, said they had a couple, but I haven't caught a single keeper today. So if you like watching videos where I'm catching keepers, today is not the day. This thing right here has, you know, it's came through. You can tell that it's seen some stuff. But I can't complain for what we've done today. I don't know exactly how many fish I've caught. I'm going to guess 15 plus, maybe closer to 20. I don't know. I lost count. They're all small. The biggest one I caught was maybe 12 and a half inches, maybe 13 if that. But I'll take that for a day here at Yatesville, especially when I'm not fishing a tournament. It's really fun to get out on the water and, you know, just to be able to catch fish. I get so wrapped up in catching big fish all the time that I forget that little fish and catching small fish is what got me into fishing. And obviously it's not what I want to go out and do all the time, but if you can catch over 15 bass at Yatesville Lake, it's a good day. So I'll take it. And again, in this episode is kind of a little backwards. You're seeing it after the fact, me doing the intro, but the water temperature is about 53 degrees. It is Good Friday, again, 2024, but the Shimano Ember is going to put some fish in the boat on this episode. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you would. So let's check out this video. And after this video, please consider subscribing. And if you can, get out there and lean on them. We'll see you next time on another line. Well, boys, let's get after Good Friday 2024. Let's go. Worked out so well last week. I got to start out with the Ember. Gonna pull this out, grab a spinner bait, another crankbait or two. Now you got to throw the old Raven Red 1.5. Sorry, not a 1.5, a Spro Little John. Type R. Yep. I'm not getting that jig out yet. Spinnerbait, crankbaits. That's all I'm throwing for a minute. Again, had such good luck out here the other day. on this Ember. I gotta give her a go again. That's a fish right there. Been very big, but gives me a little confidence in the old Ember again. There's one. A little baby, but Shimano Enber may be the thing today too, boys and girls. These fish are super shallow right now, probably because it's really early in the morning. But Shimano Enber, this is ST Purple. Not even close to a keeper, but definitely number one, and I will take it. That fish was by this log over here, and this lake kind of sets up in a way that you can pattern fish pretty well on this lake. If you find them throwing a crankbait around timber, you can pretty much go around this lake the entirety of the lake and catch fish doing that exact same thing. So I'm gonna definitely keep that in the back of my mind here. There's some more timber around this point, see what happens. And again, patterning fish, you know, I guess kind of really is attributed to Rick Clunn. That dude's, you know, been in the business for years. It's crazy, man. Awesome guy. But I want to see, maybe I can pattern them here by this timber and smoke them on the old Ember again today. Had one come off, but as I was talking about patterning fish here at Yatesville, I caught that fish right off that log, cast it over it again, I had another fish on just now. So maybe, just maybe, we can work on this pattern today again on this timber, throwing this crankbait. It's supposed to get windy today, which normally helps crankbait bite, spinnerbait bite. So I'm real hopeful today anyway. Not catching giants, obviously. We've got two freaking dinks and missed one right there. I can tell you it wasn't very big. But you come out here to Yatesville any day of the week and you catch one. That's a pretty good day. But right now, this time of year, Yatesville, Grayson, all these places, you have a chance just to catch an absolute giant. My buddy Brandon Buckner caught one of the biggest bass I've ever seen come out of this lake ever. I'm sure there's been bigger, but he caught a 7-11 3 weeks ago, I believe. Actually, it's been about a month ago. But they're in here. They're few and far between, but when you catch one, you have the opportunity to catch one 8 pounds here. Again, rarely, but you do. Off another dink. Maybe their own collar, but they're eating it. Just waiting for a big 5-pounder to get a load of this thing. There should have been 4 right there, but can't keep them buttoned up. Dinks, I don't care about losing those though. There's a crappie. Looking at live scope, had this thing dead stick right underneath the boat. Got ate by a crappie. Like a little better fish. Not a giant, but might be a keeper. Nah, he's not a keeper even. He's the biggest fish I've caught all day though. About a 10-incher. Man, that joker is fat, fat, fat. He's definitely been feeding. He ain't even 10 inches. It's all right. I think that's number 3 in the boat around timber. So maybe that's where it's at today, boys. We'll have to see. Stop the GoPro from the last catch, cast it into that tree right there. Got another one, a little dink, but I believe that's number 4. Let's see if I can do it again without stopping the GoPro. Again, all in this tree right here. Tournament's coming around through here. I've already had one boat pass me, so we're probably gonna get some more. Boys, the dinks are chewing this thing, but I'm not really feeling it. I know a big bass is going to eat this thing eventually. But man, I have literally put on a clinic this morning with these little dinks. Got to find something with a little more shoulders to it than that. But I know if the dinks are eating it, a big bass will eat it eventually. I just got to find them. I haven't really seen anything on live scope that told me it was a big bass or a big fish yet. Right now we're sitting in 14.5 foot of water, and the water temperature is 53.3 degrees, which should be absolutely perfect for a big giant bass to just be ready to feed up for spawn. But hey, it is what it is. I guess I'll pick up that other Spro little John crankbait here in a minute. It seems like every time I come around like timber or a point like this, there's normally some fish on it. I caught a 4-pounder on a point last weekend, so maybe I can, you know, that's kind of 2 patterns that I could put together today: points and timber. And it's really tough for me to get this Ember out of my hand right now, because I know it catches bigger fish than I've got today. I saw that last week, but I don't know if the bigger fish are not chasing, or I'm throwing the wrong collar at them, or something. But the little babies are eating it. I'm hoping that a big one will get it here soon. Man, that fish fought hard. Definitely probably the biggest fish I've caught today, maybe not, but man, he fought hard. I thought he was definitely a keeper. Wrong again. Oh man, that was that was a decent fish there. Got some timber out here in the middle of this pocket. Throwing this thing right beside it. Got hammered. I think the timber is going to be where it's at. Timber and points. So I'm just going to, after I work my way out of this little cove here, I'm going to fish timber and points the rest of the day. See what happens. That was a decent sized fish there. It wasn't giant. It was definitely a keeper, maybe 15 inches. There's another little one. He was way smaller than the one I had a second ago, but boys, if you don't think the Shimano Enber catches fish, and albeit these are not big ones, but I have shown the last couple days that the Shimano Enber is the real deal. Well, if there's ever been a spot that I could call my shot, it ought to be right here on this log coming out of the water on a point. I don't know how far this tree comes out in there, but if the tree comes out as far as I think it does, you ought to be able to catch a couple off this tree. Maybe even find a keeper. Oh man, this bait just catches everything. Bluegill, crappie, bass today. There it is, boys. Called my shot. He ain't a big one. Dude, I don't know. That's a lot, but they're also really small. I'm gonna mess around and catch a big one on this bait today. But that tree comes way out in the water there. I see the sticks coming out. Hopefully I don't get hung up coming through there. The little ones are really shallow and they are really hungry today, especially for this Ember. They're eating it. Getting ridiculous at this point. How are you doing in this situation? Do you put it down or you keep catching little ones? Switch up collars maybe? I don't know. But I can't not throw it. Getting a little bigger. Still not close to a keeper, but I'm gonna lucky in to find one here in a second. But the wrong size. I'm trying to find something a little bit bigger than that. Not fishing a tournament today, obviously. I'm just out here doing some fun fishing, but at what point do you switch baits? Like I've caught the fire out of fish this morning on this Ember, but I haven't caught anything even close or remotely close to a keeper. Speaking of which, there's another one. And it's not very big at all. But this, I'm telling you what, I don't know that I've ever had a crankbait this productive ever, especially here at Yatesville. But again, they're all cookie cutter 10 inchers or smaller, and that is not what I'm after. Just makes me wonder if I can go up in standing timber and throw this thing around and catch a little bit bigger bass. The tiny ones are on points and on timber, and they are hungry. But you think I would be able to weed through some of these fish and find a bigger a little bit bigger fish, but so far it's been, I mean, we've caught the fire out of fish, don't get me wrong. I don't know how many I've caught, I've lost count. I'm guessing somewhere around 15 or more, but it's definitely not the size I'm after. Kind of out here pre-fishing, trying to find some new fish and new water for the Casting for Kids tournament here coming up in a few weeks. And I figured 10 pounds will make the cut for day 2. But I have to find a lot bigger ones than this.